The shock to the system that's throwing porcelain for the first time in months is always worse than I remember. It's a good reminder that I probably need to practice with it more. But after getting all the packaging finished this week, I had a real urge to recreate some of these pieces, only with some better shapes and proportions, as these older variants do feel a bit squat. The material difference between this and the stoneware I use more regularly is huge. Its smoothness makes it so easy to centre, but thereafter everything does become slightly more difficult. It must be thrown more carefully with less water and more slip. And whilst that sounds like an easy change to make, when you're so used to working with stoneware, where you can get away throwing quickly with quite a lot of water without the material degrading, you simply can't work this stuff in the same way. And in a way, fetching more water and splashing it on the pot is an act almost as subconscious as changing the wheel speed for me. This means that whenever I switch to working with porcelain, there's a lengthy period where I have to think so much more about what I'm actually doing, especially if I'm production throwing. With the rough shape of this small, angular vase there, I use an old blunted turning tool to remove the worst of the undulation in the lip, and I think what I was most unhappy with the previous iteration of these I made was that I left quite significant throwing rings on the inside, which ended up being visible on the outside of the pots when fired, due to how thin the material is. This gave them a sort of wavering, wobbly appearance. So this time I'm being a lot more careful, and I'm removing many of those throwing rings at this stage, hence the heat gun on the outside as I clean up the pot from the inside. If you'd like to find out more about throwing this batch of pots, I've left a lot more information in the description of this video.